Welcome back to WFMJ Community Connection. I have a special guest in the studio, and it is the one and only Gerald Beulah, otherwise known as Jere B. Jere B, how are ye? Now, how you doing?
I am grateful. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, my friend. You know, people are hearing, I'm hearing it in my ear, I'm so excited. My theme music, you know, that was written by you and performed by Sound Doctrine.
Yes.
Thank you. You know, because I just came to you and said, I'd like to have some theme music because I think I'm going to be popular one day.
And you are.
But it was your music. Your music has done it, Jere, because I was, I can't even remember where I was going, but I was listening to XM radio and I heard it come on and I was like, that's my song.
Yeah.
They're playing my song.
Yeah.
And you know that feeling that you get, my song is on the radio. It's like, what the heck? I was in love.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for writing it. Thank you for letting me use it.
Absolutely.
I'm very appreciative.
It's my absolute honor.
Well, it's an honor to have you here in the studio and talk about your next important thing. We're going to add an A to your repertoire for author.
Thank you.
Well, you have written a book, The EntrePreneur, not the EntreMusician.
There we go.
Jere has coined a new word. So next time you're looking in your Oxford Dictionary, you might find EntreMusician.
Absolutely.
So what made you do this, sir?
So we put together the EntreMusician as a podcast slightly before the entire shutdown happened in 2020. And basically we put it together because so many musicians had been asking us questions about, hey, can you look at this contract? You know, they want me to do this, or we have to perform here and whatnot, you know. So we put the podcast together as a means of saying, this is what you don't do. You know, these are the things that you look for.
What you do, what you don't do.
Yeah, you know, and mostly mistakes that I've made in my career. So if you don't do this, you'll probably be successful, right? So that was the podcast. It turned into interviews with other great musicians and artists, from Grammy winners to icons to the person who just released their CD last week, right? Or their music. So with respect to that, then it kind of grew and we began to nurture it. And I had to put a business plan together, and we're looking at a course. In fact, we have a new course that's starting January 4th. It's a 3-month course for entrepreneurial musicians, and that's where the EntreMusician comes from. So that, you know, I wrote this book basically for myself, and putting the plan together to say, you know, in consulting work, do I believe what I'm saying? I mean, you know, do I actually believe this? In the core of the EntreMusician is mindset, discipline, and focus.
Okay.
We say mindset is our position, discipline is our progression, and focus is precision. So as I begin to unpack those, I discovered these 9 keys that works for any musician or artist or singer or producer or rapper or poet at any stage of their career, in any genre that they work in. And so that basically came out to these 9 keys right here.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, these 9 points, keys to unlock our mindset, our discipline, and our focus. You know, of course I read it. I read it in literally one setting because it was just very good, okay?
Thank you.
But it can be applied not just to musicians, but to our lives.
That is correct.
And when I got to key number 4, trust, that's something that I really always have had an issue with. And you know, there's power in an introduction, there's power in synergy, there's power in collaboration. Man, I should have believed that, but I didn't. You know how you think you need to believe in order to trust?
True, but belief and trust are 2 different things.
So I'm finding, right?
Because belief is intrinsic. It's about yourself. It's about believing that you can do something, believing in God, believing in your system of faith, believing that whatever project you're embarking on, you can do it. But trust is more external because you have to be vulnerable.
Yes.
You know, especially in a band situation or when you're working with a management team or a record company, you have to learn to trust. And sometimes the music industry can be presented as where it's very untrustworthy and you can't let your guard down and you have to be on point. And some aspects of that are true, but in order to advance and network and move your career along, you're going to have to trust someone.
And you know, that is key Exactly, because it applies not just to a musician, a band, or a concept. It applies to a television station, for a community relations director at a television station. I'm vulnerable all the time, but that vulnerability kind of leads me to that point of, do I trust, do I not trust? And I need to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
I need to be accountable for what I do, what I say. And I found that out the hard way on Facebook, and saying things that I shouldn't be saying, and revealing things that I shouldn't reveal. But you find out these things simply by reading your keys to success here.
Thank you.
And this is awesome. Now, where can people find my book? Now, where can people find your book? They
can find your book on Amazon.com, and you can go to the EntreMusician.com, and there's a link right to the Amazon link. Of course, the information for the course is on the website as well. And we want to point this out, that we put this course together particularly for those who are ages 50 and over only. Not that we don't accept.
But I understand.
Yeah, this demographic, and I found, I mean, I'm in this age group, and either you're starting a career or you're afraid to reboot your career.
Yes.
You don't think that your music matters at this point, like that was a time gone by, and you have your grandchildren, and what does it matter? But there's so many musicians at this demographic, at this age group, who are thriving, and you need to know how to do that too. So don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Hey, the bishop said it, and that is so true, because I get nervous when it's time to reinvent yourself. You know, I'm just a community relations director. No, I am a community relations director, and I want to be the best that I can, but I want to be accountable and hold it all together. But it requires 9 keys of mindfulness, definitely. You know, when you mention mindset, man, discipline, focus. This is what you need in order to be successful.
Across every platform.
Every platform, and not just in music, but in a church.
That's right.
In the business world, in a bank. I mean, everything can be applied to this book. And you said something that really got to me, you know, 50 years old or older, 50 year older. Well, you know, I've been lying about my age, okay? I'm way over 50. I'm not 30-something. So this book was for me. It really was. And when you say that, there are some things that are in here that a younger mind couldn't conceptualize just quite yet.
I know I couldn't. I mean, you know, and so again, I mean, it's not that we are excluding those who are younger than 50, but you know, you get to a point where you have to have some life experience that's going to teach you and kick you in the butt, that you can grasp the ideas that are in this book better than if you're 22.
Well, exactly. So. You know, and there's another one, which was key number 8, forgive.
Yeah.
I have an issue with forgiving. You know, people who have done me wrong so many times, but you know, I don't want to forgive them. But in order to forgive, you grow yourself when you forgive, when you let it go.
Forgiveness is really, I mean, that's the cornerstone of Christmas, is that God gave his son to save sinners. And that process is forgiveness, confessing your sins. So as God has forgiven you, we forgive each other. And then we also learn how to forgive ourselves, because sometimes the problem is we don't know how to forgive ourselves for things that we've done, mistakes we've made, regrets that we've been having grudges against ourselves and holding on to. So that whole process of forgiveness is vital, and it's important, and it's the cornerstone of Christmas.
And you know, when you talk about the cornerstone, and it is Christmas Day, and you know, we're doing this on Christmas Day, and you know, we're supposed to be full of the Spirit and not afraid.
Right.
When I say this, I mean it. This book gave me a pause. After I read it, I took and reread it. And I was like, what? You know, because I think one of the phrases that you used in here was, it broke my brain. Okay.
Yeah.
It kind of like set me down for a second and said, okay, reassess, Madonna.
Correct.
Reassess and know what you want to do.
That's right.
Be an EntreMusician.
That's correct.
You know, now, I think that the word EntreMusician, you have made that up.
Yes.
Don't be surprised if it ends up being a word.
Well, it's actually, I have to give Dave Ramsey credit, because he wrote a book 12, 13 years ago called EntreLeadership. And after reading that book, I said, man, if I take the principles that Dave has set out and apply them to musicians, apply them to myself as an artist, and I would be in quote unquote EntreMusician. So I began doing that, and like I said, put the podcast together. But yeah, it's not original to me, but entrepreneurial musician. Every artist needs to think of him or herself as that, because it's not just your talent. Okay, it's not just your gift, it's your business skills as well. And if you're not on point with your business, then the career is just going to go
throw it away.
south.
Yes, exactly. And another thing I want to mention is you are a role model in the respect that you have children. Your daughters have written books. I mean, you are dad of all dads. I mean, Father's Day extraordinaire. What the heck? You know what I mean? Your daughter just produced a book recently,
her
right?
second book, and she just had her book signing at Poland Library. You know, it's called My Name is Anxiety. So you have to, you know, definitely go to AyanaSimone.com. I have to be that dad that promotes.
Give the plug,
you know?
give the plug, yes.
But it's a very tightening book. It's a book that you need to wear your seatbelts on, because she went deep. It's a novel, you know, unlike mine, but it's a novel, and like her first book, it really grapples with a lot of things that young people are dealing with in this day and age.
And you, again, hit the nail on the head. Yours is for an adult, but hers is more for an aspiring adult.
Correct. Adulting, as she calls it.
Yes. Right. Like there are some days I'm not adulting today, but but indeed, a young person's view. And in her first book, I had her on the show, and I said, "What's going to happen when you write your next book and people are, you know, critical?" She said, "I'll write that next book, and you'll find out." So tell her she's next on my list to come and sit in the seat, because I would like to talk to her about it.
Thank you.
Because I do have a viewing audience that is quote unquote older, but I do have a younger viewing audience too, or their parents could learn, listen, and understand what's going on in a young person's mind. I really try. Now, Jerry, what's next on the horizon for you?
So the course, January 4th, that's a 3-month course for EntreMusicians who are serious about their career, again, starting or rebooting their career. We ourselves have taken a course in Michael Elsner's Master Music Licensing, so we'll be doing music writing for sync and film. I must say that I've stepped away from the pastorate after 18 years at Victory Church, 12 as a full-time pastor, so we're stepping into the music zone 100%. 24/7, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm grateful for Pastor Juan and Deidre and the leadership at Victory for blessing us to be able to go out and really open up this chapter. So again, I wrote this for me, so I won't be afraid.
Okay, do not be afraid. And you know, when Bishop said that, you know, and it's in the Bible over 365 times, I said, man, yeah, that's right. One each day. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. And we need to not be afraid to unlock our mindset, our discipline, and our focus.
Absolutely.
That's what's the key. That's the key.
Absolutely.
Jerry, I'm so appreciative that you took the time to come on Community Connection and share with me on Christmas Day the great news, and people hearing the new, you know, the song Chai Tea is awesome.
Thank you.
But the remixed, I guess it's called, right? Is it remixing?
That's correct.
It's like so cool, and I don't know what that first instrument is. It's not a saxophone. What is that?
No, so the synthesizer, the drum beat, the guitar coming in. Paul Dowd's, Keith McKelly, Cliff Barnes, myself. I mean, excellent musicians.
Sound doctrine. Sound doctrine.
Thank you.
Well, I'm very thankful. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right. And I want to say to my viewers, pick up the book, and remember, a positive attitude can make anything happen for anyone. And when you're out and about, please, oh please, wear your seatbelt. Hope to see you next week, January 1st. It's going to be a rerun. I'm going to do a rebroadcast, so make sure that you tune in. It's going to be a great show regardless. So hope to see you then, and have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas.